Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. Today we're going to go through 6 rank tips that I think will help everybody rank up in Season 9. If you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And anyways, with that said, let's dive in. So first tip is the new economy. So basically understand in the new economy that gold is easier to obtain because of the changes to the minion spawn rate and the changes to the tower value, especially tier 1 and the dragon. So overall in the new economy, what's going to happen is there's going to be more gold early game, mid and late game. So what's going to happen is when teams get ahead and they get control of the dragon and they can kill towers, they're going to really snowball hard. So I think because of the new economy, a major focus is going to be on early game team fights, because the team that gets ahead early is very likely to snowball all the way to the end of the game. So moving on, with that said, we need to think about power roles. So what I mean by a power role is a role that is going to have more influence on if a game becomes a win or a loss. So I think the best roles moving into Season 9 are mid, jungle, and support. The reason for that is that we discussed early game fights really matter. So what are the lanes that have the most impact on team fights? Well, they tend to be mid, jungle, and support, because those 3 roles are roaming all over the map and they can have influence on all parts of the map, right? Mid can go DS or dragon, and same with support and jungle. The other thing is that, for instance, support can make the enemy's team very hard. Like it can make it can make it very hard for the enemy jungler to farm efficiently, and at the same time it can keep its team safe by providing vision from getting ganks. And the point that I'm really going to keep emphasizing is early game is really mattering a lot more, and team fighting is mattering a lot more. So the team that roams more successfully and gets into good team fights more successfully are going to tend to win a lot more. Anyways, with that said, then prioritizing your heroes. You want to focus on heroes that have good, like really quick wave clear, good mobility, and they do very well in team fights. Also, I think there's a premium on heroes that are strong early game in Season 9. So, for instance, Rourke as an example, Jinnar as an example. They have very strong early game and mid game. So there's a lot of other examples. Those are just the 2 that pop to my head right away. Mina as a support is a good example also. So anyways, the reason you want to clear the wave quickly is because that allows you to go roam. The reason you want the mobility is so you can group up with your team quicker. And then just team fight is you want good AoE, or you want good burst that can just melt somebody right away. I think that is it for that point. So forming groups. Okay, so I see this all the time, and actually I'm one of these people, is you don't have to be limited to your real life friends and family. Okay, so I see all the time on Reddit and Squirrel Nation Discord people saying like, I don't have friends who play the game, right? I'm one of those people. I don't have any real life friends, I don't have any family who play Arena of Valor, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't group. So what I encourage everybody to do is actually invite people after matches. If somebody does really well, invite them to team up, right? And most likely if you did well also, they'll accept. And just get in the habit of doing that. And what happens is you'll form impromptu groups every day, and it will just help you rank up. So when people are saying form groups, they're not saying you have to have real life friends or family who play the game. They're just saying start inviting people, start trying to be social, start trying to make in-game friends, and that will help you a lot. Another point I want to make is so what I always do, this is how I go about it. I start solo queue, okay? And then normally I'll start getting good games. Somebody will invite me, or I'll see somebody in a game that I recognize their skill and I'll invite them. And then what happens is then we have a duo, and then we keep doing that, and eventually we end up with a trio, and then you go on nice win streaks, you know? I tend to, as your group gets bigger, especially once you get to a 3-stack that you found, and also if your 3-stack covers power roles. So if your 3-stack is a mid, support, and jungle, you are going to have a very high likelihood of winning a lot of games than if you were solo queue. And once again, I find those groups all the time from people that I did not know before, just simply by inviting them after the game or them inviting me after the game. And then just kind of a note on this point is, like I'm saying, is the new season is a great time to meet players who are better than you. Okay, so if you're Diamond, it's a great time to meet Masters players. Because if you play well, then they're gonna recognize that potential in you, and then you're just somebody good for them to group up with and climb up the ladder, right? Like everybody as seasons begin, they're trying to just get back to the rank that they know they should be at. So if they see you as somebody valuable and somebody who can help them get back to that rank quicker and more efficiently, then they're gonna group up with you, right? And then watch how they play and learn from them. So anyways, beginning of the season, definitely look to be forming groups. So be aggressive. This is a quick point. We discussed early game is going to snowball heavily into late game. So what's going to win the early game is aggression, looking for good team fights. Aggression makes enemies make mistakes, right? And the other point that I want to make here is you learn from being overly aggressive, and sometimes you make mistakes being overly aggressive, but it's fine because you learn when you can be really aggressive and when you shouldn't be aggressive. But if you're overly passive, you're never learning. You don't know what opportunity you missed when you're being overly passive. You just think, oh, I didn't die, okay, everything's good, right? But it's not, because good teams and good players, and as you move up the ladder, it's all about aggression. It's all about making it really hard for the enemy to do anything. All of you have been in a game where you feel like the enemy is always in the bush you don't want them to be at. Every time you try to leave lane, they're killing you, right? We've all been there. That's why aggression matters. So be aggressive. Aggression will teach you how to be a better player. Turn off chat. You'll hear me always going in over this, and I still make this mistake. I mean, I'm really bad about turning off chat. So, but turning off chat really helps you because it makes you focus on yourself. So there's a lot of times when we want to type and we want to tell our teammates what they should be doing, or we just want to flame somebody, right? Or we just want to vent our negativity into the world, right? And 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't help, right? 1 out of 10 times, you meet some miracle teammate who actually is willing to listen. They change their actions, and you win a game. But 9 out of 10 times, it tilts your team, it tilts you, and bam, GG. Play to your ping. Okay, so this is one that I was debating adding in, but I just decided to add in because I think it's really important that people acknowledge what their ping is like. So recently I moved from NA to Korea, and the thing that impacted for me is my ping, right? My ping used to be like maybe 40 to 60 range. Okay, we'll say like an average probably of 60. Now my average ping is 200. Like if I am on a good day, my ping is 180-ish, right? Like 170 something is good ping for me. So what's that mean? Well, it means that I can't play heavy micro heroes that I used to play. Like I can't play Liliana anymore because it's extremely hard to hit combos when you have that much lag, right? And I mean, you listen to that and 100 or 150 extra ping doesn't seem like that much, but it makes a world of difference, especially as you're going to a high level. Like if you're playing against other master players or other high diamond players, I mean, a gap of 100 ping is the difference between you getting destroyed and you crushing the enemy. So anyways, if you have high ping, avoid skill shot heroes, avoid squishy heroes. The reason for that is squishy heroes are you have to position, you have to be able to dodge damage, right? You have to always be ready to react. For instance, let's say the enemy assassin's gonna like flash and ult on you or burst you, or for instance like a Mina or something like that. Anyways, they're gonna flash and do something. Well, if you have high ping, it's very hard for you to react to that in a timely manner, because simply by the time you see them flash, and say you have godlike reflexes, you immediately flash, well guess what, that ping still is enough that they can still land their ultimate on you, they can land that burst on you. So I would stay away from squishy heroes. Okay, that does it for today's video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you did. Also, it really helps me if you will share this video around so that other people can join the Squirrel Nation and just join our great community we have going on. But anyways, as always, I'll see you all tomorrow, and happy ranking.